basically, our speaker for today is Mohamed Eltayeb, and he will be talking about the impact of BLM in United States. If I talk about Eltayeb, he's a very talented individual. He just established his media platform to promote free and fair journalism internationally by the name of Vision 2020. And previously, he has interned at Africa Uncensored, which is a very established and prestigious news organization. And there he covered beats relating to COVID and rise of fake news. He's also associated with Northwestern University, where he's completing his degree in journalism and media and politics. And he is a very passionate humanitarian worker as well, and uh, recently went to Ghana with me to work with marginalized communities. And above all, he's my very good friend. And Mohammed, please accept our cardinal welcome. The mic is all yours.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for having me, bro. So should I just start beginning or?
Yeah, like
All right.
whatever way you seem comfortable with.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, my name is Mohamed Eltayeb. I live in the US. I was born here. Um, and I've known Secunda for a long time, since we met in Northwestern in Qatar. He's invited me today to talk about the Black Lives Matter movement in the US. I'm sure you guys have seen America on the news a lot, not just because of Corona, but because of the racial protests. Like, has anyone seen it on the headline? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah, like I've been here since May, and so I've been at the start of it. After I came back from my internship, and I just want to talk to you guys about what's going on and answer your questions on the situation and why there's actually protests, and why they continue to happen each and every day. Um, so, have you guys heard about the Black Lives Matter movement before?
Yeah, we just discussed it briefly in yesterday's class,
Okay.
like just superficial.
So yeah, the Black Lives Matter movement, it started in about 2013, after the killing of Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was just walking in his neighborhood, and he just had his hoodie up, and someone felt, that was, a threat, and they shot him. Yeah, they shot him and they killed him, and that's where it really started, in 2013, and then it just kept on building as more and more people were getting killed by police. More Black people were getting killed by police. There's actually a fact that around, I want to make sure I get it right. So police violence is the leading cause of death for young Black men in the United States. And that's according to a research study. But about one in every 1,000 young Black men are expected to be killed by police. So that's a pretty big number, if you look at it. And so, a lot of people also get confused on why and why does it say Black Lives Matter? Why is it not Black All Lives Matter? Because that's the argument white majority people that live in the United States make. And the reason why we say Black Lives Matter is because we know all lives matter. We know, Pakistani lives matter. We know Chinese lives matter. We know Arab lives matter. We know that. But what we want to say is Black lives matter. Like they matter, and we have to emphasize that because in the United States they don't. I've lived here about 21. I'm 21, so I've been here 21 years now, and about to be 22. And America is not like, I think now more than ever, America is being exposed for the country it is. It's not, a good country. It's not a safe country for a lot of people. It's a dangerous country, and especially under President Trump. We live in a, very unprecedented world. We don't really, you guys know about Trump. I'm pretty sure. And the things that he does, he's an idiot. And he added more fuel to this protest, because there was a man named Colin Kaepernick who really was starting this kneeling. If you've seen the kneeling during sports, maybe they do it during also soccer and stuff like this. So, he said like, oh, that stuff is disrespectful. And even though like the military is okay with it, he continues to divide the country. That's the president we have today. Is He's just divide the country. He doesn't want to say Black Lives Matter. He doesn't want to acknowledge that the fact that police kill more Black people than any other, population. Um, and so I'll speak about what's happening in my city. We also have a lot of protests. Actually, I've been to, I think, maybe 30 to 40 protests since I've come back, and they're all very different. A lot of them have been tear gassed by police. Come home and have to shower in cold water. If you've been tear gassed, it's very tough. It hurts a lot. And these protests, they start very peaceful. They start, with people just marching, and then just, speaking, using their freedoms that we so-called have, and then all of a sudden, police believe that it's dangerous. This is no longer going to happen. So they fight back and they start actually the violence here. And the reason why we protest in Denver is because of Elijah McClain, who was a young man that was killed by walking to the gas station by the police. He was, on the disabled spectrum. And what happened was, they just thought he was a suspect, and they tackled him and they hurt him and eventually killed him. So, there was outcry, and, we saw the video cameras, because police here in the United States, most of the time they have video cameras, body cameras. That's why we saw so much of the abuse. We saw so much victims through police cameras, but sometimes they turn them off. They delete them. It happens a lot. So, it's been very like over here. There's been no justice yet. People are marching for justice. They're marching for this. The police to be arrested and go to prison. But in America, it's very hard to take the police to jail. Like very, very difficult. I don't know how it is in Pakistan, but in America, the police is like untouchable. You can like, there's been videos of police killing people unarmed, and then they still don't go to jail. And if anything, they get fired. But it's actually there's a fact that 70% of police that get fired, the fact is that when police do get fired, 70% of them can get a job again at a police station, another police department. So it's, people are mad. People are very angry here in the United States. It's not the best time to travel in the United States. You have to be careful where you're going, because many cities are still protesting. And there's a lot of divide. There's a lot of Blue Lives Matter, which are people that are supporting the cops and, saying that, oh, the cops are putting themselves in danger and you don't know how it is to be a cop, which, is just another way to just incite hate. Because all Black Lives Matters is just it's very peaceful movement. But many people don't understand that, including our governments. And if you've seen, it's been actually even worse in other states. If you guys have known of Portland, has anyone heard about what's going on in the city of Portland? No? Yeah, so Portland is where it's very like, it's unrecognizable as an American city, because police, it's no longer being controlled by police, but federal troops. And they kidnap protesters, like from vans, they just take them, they arrest them for no reason. And then people don't know where they go or what happens to them. And they're arresting journalists, which is completely illegal in the United States. It's completely, it's illegal around the world to arrest a journalist, but they do it anyway. So many cities are, different. Chicago yesterday was closed down because police shot I think 15-year-old kid, or was it maybe even younger? I'm not really sure about the fact. I read it this morning. But so every city has its own local issue. And it's been going on for months, and I think it's going to continue going on, and it's especially going to impact Trump in the elections, which he's scared of. If you see his interviews, he gets very dodgy and he doesn't know what to say about what's going on because he's scared. It's going to affect him in the election, and we hope it does. We hope this is it for him, because America is more divided than it's ever been, and this stuff has to happen. It has to. These protests must have to. They need to happen because I think people in general are tired. Countries around the world are recognizing that America treats its citizens very poorly, and other citizens, immigrants and people entering this country are very treated more than ever with disrespect because of the people we have in office, the people that hold power. So yeah, like that's just the gist of what's going on right now. We can start by going by questions. You can guys ask any question at all. Yeah, anyone can start.
Just a second. Am I audible now? Before we delve into questions, can you tell us a bit about the history of the torture by the police, like in terms
Oh
of
yeah.
like from George Floyd and then how it moved on, or previously even before, if there were some kind of brutal episodes there?
Yeah, so the history of the police is a very bad history. The fact is, the police actually, the system that the police use, were actually is a slave system. It's the slave patrols back when the U.S. had its civil war. Then that's when the police started, like was an actual thing, and so they used the same thing that they used back then, like the scare tactics and um, from scare tactics to weaponizing themselves. The police have a very like a slave patrol was a thing to capture slaves that ran away from its owners and everything like that. So imagine a system that's built on this very inhumane foundation. It's going to have deep roots. And many police have actually been linked to the KKK. If you guys know the Ku Klux Klan, the people with the white hoodies and, they have holes in the hoodies. It's like a pyramid shaped hoodie. Um, yeah, that's the police have been linked to KKK. Many people say police, it's not even being disputed. It's proven that like police officers joined the KKK. So there's a lot of racism embedded in the police system. Like the police in America, I think the violence has always been happening. It's always been going on. This time, the difference is it's been filmed, and some people can watch it. You can watch it all the way from your home. I can watch it from my home, and people are just like, "This is outrageous, man. This is not fair. How can someone get killed for just walking? How can someone get killed for nothing? It's only because it's color of his skin. So the police, they're very um yeah, it's very, they had come from a very bad system, and the slave patrols is that system. There's also another fact that I remember is that in 2019 the police killed 1,099 people. 24% of those were black, despite black people only being 13% of the population. And 27 days in 2019 were the only days that police didn't kill anybody. So out of 365 days in the year, 27 days of that year, the police didn't kill nobody. And so you can see the police here are very trigger happy. They shoot and then ask questions. That's America's tactic. You've seen it in our movies. You've seen it in the in our media. Like that is very true. Like the police are very, let's attack or kill this person, and then we'll see if he was right or wrong. And they've done that to this woman called Breonna Taylor, who she was sleeping in her room, and she was sleeping. Like imagine you're just sleeping in your room, and they break into her apartment or house and kill her for no reason, unarmed black woman. So that's just one of the reasons some people are protesting again. We saw George Floyd, who was killed for nothing. He was just killed because he was black, and they stepped on his neck, and for like 9 minutes they have you on your neck. So it's it's very I would say like there's just so many cases, and this is just like the beginning, I believe. What the solutions that people are wanting is to abolish or defund the police. For me personally, I want to abolish the police system, and that doesn't mean saying, oh, what are we going to do when there's danger. um, it's saying that we need to eradicate the system that we have now, the police system that we have now, with a new, completely different, you know, organization, one that doesn't come from the 1600s slave patrols, something completely different, something updated, you know, because America is very deep rooted in our in racism and slave trade and all of this. Our national anthem has links to slavery. So, you know, I think it's time for change, and just big change, because reform doesn't happen. Um, you know, we had Barack Obama, who was president, and he was black. And this Black Lives Matter started when he was president. So you would think like, oh, you know, it would have been better, but it wasn't. And so the other reason is defunding the police, because police budgets are about 3 to 6 billion dollars. Like it's outrageous. They're in the billions in any city, and that's more than some countries. You know, like that's just a police budget, and so they're very militarized. From It's no more just having pistols. It's none of that. It's like real full automatic weapons, and it doesn't make sense. You know, it's like it doesn't make sense for police to have so much weapons, and it's like the military now. There's no difference. The only thing is the name. You know, it's police, and it's just army. You know, that's just the name. So, and then there's another thing is police training is it's been seen as very poor. It's actually easier to be a barber than become a police officer. Um, I mean, it's easier to become a police officer than a barber. So in America, like that's just a fact. Like it's you know, it's harder to cut hair in America than become a police officer, because they go to school, and police officers, they just need a high school degree most of the time, and that's it. You know, you just got to graduate high school, and you're okay. And you have to fit the requirements. So you can see that there's already problems structurally. You know, there's not enough requirements. There's not enough, you know, testing, background checks. Most of these police officers are very racist. They just want a place to showcase their racism, just like the, you know, people that go to the military. Um, so yeah, that's a little glimpse of the background of the police in America.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the Donald Trump stance in all of this episode?
Oh, okay. I mean, Donald Trump is white, so his stance is very simple. He's defend the police. He believes that Black lives, you know, he doesn't understand why they protest. He says white people also get killed by police. Those are his words. Like you could literally find it in an interview he said like last week. Um, so he doesn't understand. He doesn't agree with the kneeling, and he's actually sent more federal troops to the cities, even though like cities have said, please don't send more troops, because it scares the people. Like, why is the army entering our cities? So he's gone against that, and he sends federal troops to my city, to Chicago, to cities in California. Um, he seems to not want to understand, and he wants to just add more fire to the fire. So Trump is an idiot. Yeah,
Can I ask a
kind of
question?
racist. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you positive of all the changes? About all the changes?
Am I positive about the changes?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Like,
I
what's
think
your opinion?
Oh, yeah. My opinion is the police are. I've seen them myself. I've been at the protest. I've organized my own protest, and I completely agree that the police need to go. Um, I can say as someone that's Black and has lived in America, there's never been a time where I felt the police was actually, like when I saw the police, I felt safe. I actually felt more in danger. I felt like my life is threatened, um, because of the way the police act here. They are at schools and they post so much, power. They know they have so much power, so they threaten you with that power, either physically or mentally. And I also, when I always leave, Qatar, I mean the United States, and go back to Qatar for school, I talk to Skender all the time and tell him, like, man, the police here are terrible. I mean, Sekunder's seen the police when he came to the U.S. We didn't have bad experiences with them, but he understands that, like, they're very corrupt, and you know I don't want to say even believe that all cops are bad, because if there were good cops, they would come out and say something. They would say, like, okay, this is not right, let's talk about it, let's do this. But they never do that. There's never been an instance where police has actually done something good, like save the community. We have so many shootings in the United States, school shootings and mall shootings, and just there's shootings everywhere, like literally everywhere. There can be a shooting. It's not even a joke no more. We had our Eid prayer, and we're under, since Trump got elected, there's been more hate crime. So during our Muslim prayer, people actually get afraid, like, oh, because there's been shootings, across the nation or around the world. And you remember New Zealand. So people, especially in America, we have access to guns. It's easy to get a gun. I could get a gun like right now, but I wouldn't get a gun because it just gives me more reason by the police to target me. So even though it's my right, it's just more of a threat. But we have so much hate in our systems, and the police have never really helped save that. They've never done anything to stop that. So that's why I feel like they're useless, and they just start more problems. You always see when a shooting happens, there's always two types of stories. If it's a white man, oh, he was mentally sick, he's aggravated, he was tired. When it becomes anyone that's not Black, when it's Black or anything else, terrorist, that's what they call him. If he's, Muslim, he's a terrorist. And so the police, they don't even describe the suspects correctly. They just add more, like I said, fire to the fuel.
Shakti, your mic is still muted.
Can you repeat your question? I didn't hear you.
My mic was muted, sorry. So if anyone else wants to ask a question, you can pitch in now.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to ask one? Go ahead, Jeff.
If Joe Biden winning the election, will this threaten the movement?
Will it be better? Like
I think there was like technological glitch from your side. Can you repeat it once again? I only heard Joe Biden.
If Joe Biden is winning the election, will this threaten the movement?
will it help the movement? See, Joe Biden is well, I think right now we're having a similar discussion like we had in 2016 in America. This is going to be my second time voting, and the thing about Joe Biden is that I wish we had Bernie Sanders. I think young people really wanted Bernie Sanders to be running because first, he would completely beat Trump, and second, he would actually bring change. He believes in before he was running for president, he believed in this. Joe Biden, on the other hand, he's more of a moderate, traditional Democrat, meaning that his views, like, he knows this is wrong, but will he do anything? I don't know. We haven't really heard anything that says, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, hold these police accountable. He knows that, like, a lot of these white people are his supporters, so he doesn't want to anger them, but yet he doesn't want to, he also wants to show support to people of color and Black communities. So I don't know. I hope he does, but I don't think so. I don't think he's like, no one is. I can tell you right now, no one is looking at Joe Biden as like, oh, he's going to be the solution. He's going to make America actually good again. No one is saying that. People are they just want Trump out. So Joe Biden is okay. We'll take him. He's the lesser of two evils. It's just like 2016 with Hillary Clinton, where nobody wanted to vote for her, but we had to, just so Trump doesn't get elected. So we hope we don't have the same situation again. We hope people actually vote, and voting is important, especially in America, because it matters. It makes changes. But you just have to, hopefully the right people make the right decisions.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Any more questions?
I have one. So my question is that I just want to know what is your point of view. What do you think? What is the basic issue? Is it the issue related to white people or just related to police? Because we have seen a lot of white people and Black people protesting together against the police recently.
Yeah. I don't think it's like it's definitely a race issue. And yeah, white people have come and supported Black people a lot in these police. It has to, because if they don't come, Black people are only 13% of the population. So white people are the majority, and it's being an ally. But I think the issue we have is the system. The system doesn't allow me or people that look like me to flourish, or progress into this country. Yes, there's people, successful Black people and successful people of color. Yes, but that's very rare, and that's rare because the system is designed to push us down. When it comes to voting, if you've seen, there's been lines in Black neighborhoods that take forever, to vote. You stay in hours, but if you go to a white neighborhood, you vote in minutes. It's quick, easy, simple. So they do this on purpose, to make us not vote. And they say, oh, you're not voting. Black people are not voting. No, the problem is you won't let us vote. Also, the fact that, Black people are more likely to get killed by the police, that's a fact. It's not even like an opinion. It's a fact, because Black people have been killed more than police. 1 in 1,000 Black men are expected to be killed by the police. And so it's a system that's been designed to only help the whites and bring down the Blacks and people of color and people that enter this country. So it's not like, oh, let's say white people. No, it's not like that. It's more like, we need to fight against a system that helps white people and doesn't help anybody else. You see a clown, a billionaire, he makes it to president somehow. If a Black man was to say any one of the things Trump has said, we are 100% sure that he would have been, president. Like, you see the difference between Obama. Obama's biggest scandal in America there was a couple things, but like one thing that was like he wore a tan suit, and they made it a huge thing, like, oh, this is not presidential, this is not. Now we have Trump, where everything he says is not presidential. So it's just because it's skin colors. You get more criticized just because of the way you look, unfortunately, in 2020.
Anyone else got a question? We only have like five minutes left, so if you can like quickly ask your questions.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Uh, how about starting a campaign for school-going children? Like, their mind is not yet corrupted, and you can fill it with positivity.
So like educating young children on the issues of like racism and stuff like this.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
How to
Yeah.
avoid racism and how to stay together,
Yeah.
like love each other.
Yeah. I think that's really important, and that's happening. I mean, I think that's happening. It's the way who your family is. Because no one is born racist. You learn racism through your environment. We're all born out of hate. I think we all believe in that. But the problem is, they grow up into a neighborhood, and it could be a white predominant neighborhood. It could be one person in the family that just says these hateful things, and we have to educate more than ever. I've been trying to help educate my friends on what's going on, um, and telling them, like, this is a real situation, man. This is not a joke. And they listen now because I write stories, and they can't argue against. I'm a journalist, but now, yeah, but educating, I think it's that happens, but that's such a long-term process. You can't educate young people, especially if your government, like the president that's in charge, is a racist. It takes, it's like you see racism everywhere. So that's the slow process. That's the backup. What's going behind the scenes. But right now, it's like change must be happening because I can see America, like, it's already losing its mind. There's just so much hate. You go to the store and you go to you feel tension wherever you go, and people are tired, man. People are really tired because the economy's going down, and coronavirus, especially in America, is rising, and there's racial injustice, and we have an idiot in office. So people want change now more than ever. But yeah, that is a very good way to educate yourself. Reading books, watching, there's a lot of documentaries, especially on Netflix, that bring out the real truth on police systems and America's system. And watching, listening to scholars and predominantly Black people that speak on this and lecture this, I think is the very way. Even I read on this because this, you learn stuff all the time. So it's obviously learning. I'll commend anybody that does it right now to understand the situation.
I think we have only 2 minutes left, so we can ask another question. Last question, anyone? If not, I think it's time for us to thank you, Eltayeb, for detailing us on the entire situation and
No
telling us a
problem.
lot about it. I think we are very well informed on what's happening in the US and how the police needs to be changed, and or at least like how there's a need for reform in those places. So thank you very much for giving us time and being here for us. We definitely appreciate this.
Anytime, man. Thank you for wanting to, listen to me. Just continue to educate yourselves. You guys are young, smart. Skanda tells me a lot of good things about you guys. And if you ever have any questions or anything, I feel free to, Skanda, you can give out my contact information. And yeah, I'd love to help in any way.
Perfect. See you. Thank you very much, and see you all tomorrow. Let's say bye to Eltayeb. Thank you once
Thank
again.
you.